All right, welcome to part 2. We're going to keep going here, and in the last video I showed you how to create graphics or add them into the game. I showed you how to create an object, and we put it in a game world, which is our levels. So there's something I want you to do really quick. I want you to go to that sprite player, which, remember these tabs, we can kind of go back and forth. But go to your sprite, you know, you can kind of go to them instantly just by double clicking. So I'm going to double click my sprite. And on this top right here, I want you to click this drop-down menu, and probably on your, screen it says top left. And I want you to just click middle center. And actually, all your sprites need to be like that, just starting off. And this will get more useful to you later, maybe. Even today, I always just do middle center. And this just kind of sets the anchor point for your sprite. Trust me, this gets very important when it comes to things like collisions, getting hit by bullets, that kind of stuff. In fact, if you just want to make this to where this happens automatically so you don't have to remember to do this, click File in GameMaker, go to Preferences, go to, I believe it's, Sprite Editor, click Sprite Editor, and you'll see this drop-down menu, this first one, it's going to say top left, click middle center, and then just click apply. Now, all your sprites are going to automatically start at middle center. Trust me, just get that out of the way, and you won't have to remember to do that. That way, if your code's working weirdly, you don't have to say, oh yeah, I forgot to do this. So just get that out of the way. Just go ahead and do that. Okay, in this video I'm going to teach you more about objects, so let's go ahead and go there. And I double-clicked our object player, and of course we named it. We gave it a sprite. Now you see this box over here called events. Everything that's going to be going on in this object just about is going to be happening in this events box, okay? Essentially, you have events, and then you have an action. So an event and action would be like if you click the up arrow key on your keyboard, that's the event. I clicked the up arrow, then move upwards, okay? If I click the left mouse button, that's an event. Shoot a bullet, that's an action. If I get, I run into a spike, that's an event. Then take away from my health, that's an action, okay? So when we click add event here, we have all these different events. You can also just right click in this box here and click add event. I'm just used to doing that, but you can just click add event and you have all of these options. It's pretty awesome how many choices they give you here, because it makes your objects very flexible. You have an event called create, so that's like when this object gets created, run this code. Trust me, that's important, because that's like saying when I create an object, create a variable, which you'll learn about those soon, for my health, like, make all these things that I need, my skills, my stats, my hit points, or hey, when I get created, I want a firework to go off. That's your create event, when you pop into existence. Also, you have one when you're destroyed. When I remove this object from the game world, do X, Y, Z. You also have step. This one's a really good one, because this is saying, hey, every moment of the game be doing this. Constantly be checking for when the player clicks the arrow keys, okay? So all of this, you have one for collision. When I collide with another, like a wall, stop moving. You also have mouse, keyboard, all of this. So we're going to go ahead and give our player movement. And so go ahead and click the key down. You see you have 3 keys right here. Key down, key press, key up, key up. Key down is like when you're holding the key down. Key pressed is like the moment you press the button. Key up is the moment you release a button. So these are all similar, but they are different, okay? Go to key down, and we're going to click up. So when I click the up key, or I'm sorry, when I hold it down, we want our player to move up. Now notice you get this code window pop up, and anything that's green like this is not actual code. You can write yourself little messages and reminders by clicking // This is called a comment. So you can write anything in here, and the game will not recognize it as code. This is just to add comments to your code as you go along. So that's really useful. But this is what we're going to do. We're going to say Y, we're going to write our first code, Y space minus equal, and then we're going to give it a number 5, which that 5 is going to be our speed. So when we run the game now and we hold down the up arrow, we're going to move up. Now we can't move the other directions, but we can move up. And notice when we're holding it down, we move. When we let go of it, we stop. That's the key down. Now, we're going to go ahead and do that with, we're going to go ahead and go down. So let's go ahead and right click, add event, click down, or key down, and then we're just going to click down. Now, notice you have tab windows here, which is really useful. But in our key down, it's going to be very similar, but a little bit different. We're going to say y plus equals 5. And we're going to end that in a semicolon. Sorry for my Discord going off right now. So this one, when we go up, we're saying minus equal. And when we're going down, we're saying plus equal. Notice I'm ending it in a semicolon. You don't have to add that. That's not going to add any code value to the game. If it's not there, it's still going to work. This is just proper code etiquette. This is essentially like a period on some of the code. So don't get hung up on that right now. It's just kind of habit. Now when we run the game, y plus equal 5, we can go up, but now we can go down. Pretty cool, right? And essentially all this code is doing, we're saying y plus equal 5. We're saying move our character up or down at the rate of 5 pixels per step. 5 pixels per moment. If we go to our room, notice on the bottom left here above output, see these two numbers that are constantly changing? These are your coordinates. Notice when we go up, it says 386 right now. When I move my mouse up, you're going to see that lower, all the way up till we get to the top. Or I'm sorry, I said the wrong number. Look at 451. It's the second number. Sorry about that. The second number, 451. When I move my mouse up, it's going down. Now it's 254. It's 150, all the way to the top where it becomes 0. Okay? That's the very top of this level. Any further than that is negative. Keeps going into the negatives. And so when I go down, notice it increases all the way down to however big this level is. Now, all we're doing is changing. That's our y-axis. Left and right is our x-axis. So if we go to the left, that x, that first number, 351, is going to go lower. All the way to 0, goes into the negatives. When we go to the right, it increases. So I bet you can already guess how we're going to move right and left. We're going to say x minus equal 5. X plus equal 5. So when we look at our code in Object Player, and we're going up, for example, we are subtracting 5 pixels per frame or per moment in the game. Okay? That's all we're doing. So when we click up, we're removing value from the y. That's what makes us go up or down. So don't worry if this is a little bit confusing if you're a very new beginner. This is just how things work, These are things that you'll learn and get better at, and you'll know this stuff like the back of your hand. So you're just going to go to add event, you're going to go to key down, and we're going to say left. And I'll let you guess. What is it? It's going to be x. Is it plus equal or minus equal? If you don't know, just go to the room, move your mouse to the left, and that first number, 733, that's gonna go down. So we want to move to the left, so it's going to be minus equal. So x minus equal 5, semicolon. It's like a period. And now look at this. You can also duplicate. So I'm going to right-click that key down left. I'm going to say duplicate event. I'm going to go to key down. I'm going to say right. And now that's right here. So I double-click that, opens up a new tab, and the codes are identical. Because all I want to change is this minus to plus. Because when we go to the right, we want to add to our x-axis. So now when we run the game and we use our arrow keys, we can move all over the place. If we try to move like right and left at the same time, it cancels each other out. We're not moving at all. Look at that. So you just wrote your first code. So in this video, that's what I wanted to explain. That's how you're adding code to the game. It's all done in events, and then it's done with these actions. And the actions are the code that you write. It's the different codes, okay? Up, down, left, right. We can do other things. We can say add event. We could say, let's see here. When we press, let's do a key press now, space. There's so much code that you can use. You can say something like show message, and then in parentheses and quotation marks, you're going to say hello world, okay? And that in a semicolon. So check out that code. That's going to make a pop-up message show up when we click space. run it with F5, click space, hello world. All right, so we could be walking around, click space, a pop-up. That could say, like, you won the game, or you lost, something like that. We could also make it to when we click space, instead of that, we could destroy our player. So let's say he dies. That would just be this code, instance_destroy, and then you do parentheses, semicolon. You don't put anything in there, and I'll explain all this later, but this would destroy the object when we click space. So I'm going to run the game with F5. I'm going to click space, and he disappears. He's gone. There's no player. But we could do this. We could say add event, destroy event. Remember I explained that earlier? When I get destroyed, which is when I'm going to click space, I can add an event here. We can take that code I just showed you, show message, and in parentheses and in quotation marks, we can say, you just died, sad face. End it in a semicolon. Remember, the quotations are very important. Click F5 to run the game. I can walk around. When I click space, I'm going to be destroyed, and a pop-up's going to say, you just died. I click OK. I'm gone. Do you see what you can do? There's so many possibilities with events and with actions. And so that is, in essence, what you are going to be doing with GameMaker Studio 2 when it concerns objects. This is a fundamental thing that you are going to be doing over and over and over for all the games you make. This is the main thing that you need to understand. An object is made up of events and actions. So thank you for watching. In the next video, we're going to keep going. So if you're learning anything, please like the video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on X or Twitter, x.com/Wizardy. Again, subscribe, leave a comment. If you have any questions, leave one there. And we're just going to keep on going with this. Thank you for watching.